What up, boys, and welcome back to yet another video. So I got this YouTube series called Why Are People Farming It? And in this series I'm planning on eventually going through every single dungeon and raid in the game and talk a little bit about why people are farming it, specifically for gold. Now, in today's video we have the dungeon Stratholme. So before we take a look at that, massive thank you for all the support on the 0 to 10 million gold guide. This is a digital gold guide, meaning that you can easily open it up on your computer, and it features the best tactics and methods that I personally use in order to achieve hundreds of millions of gold. The best part about it is the fact that you get a lifetime of free updates, meaning that whenever there's a new patch to the game or a brand new expansion to the game even, I update the gold guide with the new best methods, and then I send the updated version to your email completely for free. So you can find that link down below in the description, and by using the discount code STUDENT, you get it for 50% off, and that also works on the brand new Mist of Pandaria Classic gold guide. So if you're playing Mob Classic, definitely make sure to check that one out as well. Now, the first thing that's important with Stratholme is that there's two entrances to the dungeon. You have this one right here at East Wall Side Gate, often referred to as the side entrance. This is the one that you want to run if you also care about the mount, because then you'll get to Baron Riven there and you have a chance at getting the mount. If you already have the mount, or you don't really give a shit about mounts in general, you should always go and farm the main gate. That is the gate that is the most farmed in terms of gold from Stratholme. Now, I'm going to take you guys through the route, even though it is a very, very simple route. Like, it's very tough to mess this one up. And there's a couple of reasons why people are farming it. Now, every time when people ask me if Stratholme is a good gold farm, I always say, nah, there's better options out there. And that's true. There really is a lot of better options out there, but it still have its place. It all depends on the prices of a couple of different things. But the important thing is that you kill absolutely everything in the dungeon as you're doing it. You want to clear out every mob because the run is relatively fast, so you have plenty of time to clear out the entire dungeon. Now, the important thing is that you want to run the entire dungeon from start to finish within 6 minutes. Because you can do 10 runs an hour, right? So if you even if you have to take a right and move towards the living side right here, like, as long as you have time to do that, it is worth doing. Like, basically clear out the entire place. But that depends on what class are you doing it with, and do you have a speed set on that tune? Like, do you have time to do the entire thing, like every single mob that's in the dungeon? And the reason for that is, as I said, with Dungeon Lookout, but also the mobs that we are killing in this one are undead and humanoids. So you're gonna get the material Essence of Undeath, and you're also gonna be picking up cloth from the dungeon as well. So there's a couple of like mage weave cloth that you can get. It's not high value, but that's one of the reasons why I'm not a big fan of this dungeon compared to dungeons in the same bracket, since you're getting literal silk cloth and mage weave cloth from it rather than rune cloth, which has a way higher value. But you're getting Essence of Undeath from it, though. So right now, Essence of Undeath isn't going for big gold. It doesn't help that as I'm recording this video, you have the Collector's Bounty event going on. So there's a lot of people doing this dungeon for the mount drop, leading to a lot of Essence of Undeath in the economy. But there has been moments where Essence of Undeath with patch 10.17 in Dragonflight would have been really, really valuable, and Stratholme has at that point actually been quite a good dungeon to do. Also because running this living side gives you Righteous Orbs, and Righteous Orbs are currently needed to craft the Tier 3 items, where prior to that it was only really needed for the Crusader enchant, which was doing okay, but now that Righteous Orbs are also needed for Tier 3, they've they've done way better. So that's why one of the reasons why you want to run living side rather than the undead side with Baron, because you can get those in this wing. Outside of that, like outside of the Essence of Undeath and the Righteous Orbs, which are pretty much the steady gold that you're going to get in this dungeon, the green items and the blue items and everything like that isn't really the best. However, there are a couple of items, few items from this dungeon that are dungeon specific, meaning that those blue items can only drop inside of this dungeon, and some of those items are decent. So this guy, by the way, has a 100% chance at dropping the Righteous Orbs right here, but as you can see, the price right now, super bad at 50 gold each. But the blue items of interest that you care about that's specific to the dungeon is the Gracious Cape, but it has shared appearances, so it's not that good. Same thing with the Juno's Shadow. I mean, it has an okay market value, but it's a shared appearance. The region sales average, not exactly the best. Then you got Morloon's Bracers, which, look at what happens to this one. Insane market value, in like really good sell rate as well. This is actually a good item, but the issue being that right now there's a lot of people running the dungeon, but this is a good item. The play count leggings, it's the same thing. It's a bit easier to get, good sell rate, the decent value, and then you have this Sacred Cloth leggings, which has a shared appearance, so they're not really that good. So the best two items being the play count leggings and the Morloon's Bracers. Now, those items are decent by all means, but there's so many dungeons similar to this one where you have more items and better items as the dungeon specifics. They drop better materials, and they have better world drop green items and epics and so on. Like, as an example, I would much rather do LBRS than this one. I would much rather do BRD than this one. It's just better loot in the place in general, and there's nobody running LBRS and BRD to get any mounts or anything, so the market is very rarely saturated with items that can drop in that dungeon. But once you kill that last boss, like, now you're pretty much done with Stratholme, so you don't have to actually run out. If you play something like a Druid, you can just Dreamwalk out, then Dreamwalk back in again. But it's a relatively short dungeon, so you could just walk out as well and do the whole thing in less than 6 minutes. So that's the reason why people are farming Stratholme. It's mainly to get the mount from the living side, from Baron, and then they happen to get these items as well. But outside of that, it's mainly been used as a Righteous Orb and Essence of Undeath farm, and those are currently, as I'm recording this video at least, not doing that well. So as of right now, I would put a hold on Stratholme unless you need the mount. But that's pretty much it for why people are farming Stratholme. Now, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, I will eventually get to every single dungeon and raid, including the other expansions as well. So if you think this video type is interesting, make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel if you want to see the upcoming videos. And if you already have the gold guide for the version of the games that you're playing, you should definitely consider joining the VIP Discord. Once you join in, you'll be able to view all my YouTube videos before anyone else, giving you a slight advantage. But you also get exclusive content in forms of gold tips, multiple spreadsheets for gold making, TSM groups and operations, and you can even get access to my investments for stuff such as player housing, upcoming patches, upcoming expansions, and much more. But that will also be linked down below in the description together with the gold guides. And with that being said, appreciate you all watching, and I will see you all back in at tomorrow's video. But until then, bye bye.